Okay. All right. All right. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? Hello, everybody. Hello, Steve Cuff. Hello, Ruben, Daddy Bannister, Alan Will, the men, and Claire C is a girl. So that's really good. That's we got the girls and the boys. I was at a thing last night and it was just only guys. It was like 50, 60 guys to see Count Dankula and two girls. Okay, so first of all, it's going to take a while before you hear this. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? I'm wearing a jumper because I've run out of clothes, and it's wintertime is coming. It's wintertime is coming. I look great. I found this thing. I don't remember where I found it. I think I found it in the street. Probably I did. Hi, Lewis. Your sound and vision are good. Hello, Ruben. Hello, Warmellian. You hear me? That's good. If you remember, if there's any problem, please tell me. I go crazy if you don't tell me. But thank you, Ruben. Adam Hudson is here. Adam Hudson. He talks to me on the Twitter. Can you join the Twitter? Is it called Twitter? What is it called? There you go. There's Lewis Schaffer right there. There's Lewis Schaffer. What can we do that there? Can you see this? Can you see? It's all lit up. It's my light box. I think how does there you go. So that's the light box. Does it look better that way? Or does it look better? What happened? What happened? That's not even on. Did I turn that off? Did I turn that off? I turned it off. How did it go off? Or maybe that's there. No. All right. Well, I've turned it off. We're going to have to learn to live with it. Hello, Steve Cuff is in here. Joodles. That's not a jumper, Lewis. That's a cardigan. Cardigan. Yes, it's a cardigan. It's actually quite a good quality one. I don't remember where I found it, but I did. Of course, I didn't buy it new. I wouldn't buy something. This is totally gay as it is, but I wouldn't buy it new. I found it I find a lot of things like in the park. They're all wet and disgusting. I take it home and I wash it. And I wash it because I don't care. So we got two girls here. Thank you. Hi-ho, Kermit. I meant to call you earlier to see if there's anything we needed to work on, which I think there might be something needing to work on. I think there is something. Sam S. is here. Hello. And this is our 100th show, which I guess we'll discuss it. I'd like to say there's something planned for this show, but there is nothing planned for this show. I know you deserve it. I know you deserve it. There you go. I look wonderful. That's what Claire says. She always tells me that. And you know something? I don't believe it, but it's nice to hear it. It's nice to hear it. It's like how Donald Trump was talking to Keir Starmer today about the incredible relationship he has with Britain and how things are just amazing, amazing, amazing. And you hope he knows the truth. The truth is that Keir Starmer is not a friend of America. Chat latency, but you have to remember how to do it. You might remember how to do the chat latency. I don't remember how to do it. Anybody? We love the car. Thank you, Joe. Joe, girl, she loves the chat latency. Because I was speaking to, I don't know whether I was speaking to Marcus, who's Count Dankula. He's getting 98%. He said to me that 98% of the people who listen to his chat are men. And I said that only 67% of the chat, people who listen to me, not of the chat, of the stream, or his two, are the people who listen to this are 67. I got 33% are women, 67% are men. Lewis's fashion style is street style, literally. Yeah, I find stuff in the street. I find stuff that's thrown out, and I save it. I don't care anymore. I grew up in a middle class community, and I don't care. I used to go to Brooks Brothers and buy expensive suits. Not anymore. Not anymore. I don't care. Everything I buy, if I buy full price, I will buy it at TK Maxx, basically. And I think that's what we need to do. We need to buy things at TK Maxx. So, can you see? Kermit and I worked on this thing on the side. on the chat on the side. Can you see that? Okay. And I think it's pretty easy to read. It looks, at least it's easier for me to read. And what about, am I lit up enough? Could I be brighter? Would that be brighter? Would this be brighter? How about that? How about that? How about that? Anyway, um, I'm going to you're my news channel. Mega is real. What is mega? Make England great again. Yeah. Well, you hope it is. Well, we hope it is. We hope it is. I don't know. I didn't want. I watched only a little bit of it. They called me to be on GB News, which is the first time in a long, long time, which was good to go to the GB News. And I said hello to Angelos, who's the boss of the entire company. And I said hello to Mick, who's the boss of, whatever the section above me is, I think. Will I be invited back? They're nice to me, but, will I be invited back? Anyway, so Starmer and Trump were signing some kind of accord with each other. And Starmer got in the dig that mass immigration has stopped going into America. You could just see, I don't know whether you noticed this, you could see the look on Starmer's face. Like, you're just saying that, not even to embarrass me, because Starmer is beyond embarrassment. Okay? Is beyond. Carrie Macca, beautiful girl. Thank you very much for coming in there. And Joe, beautiful girl. Anyway, so he's not embarrassed that he's a failure. That's why when you call him a wanker, it does not matter to him. He doesn't care if he's not doing a wanker's job. He's just the guy who's the front of the platoon, leading the platoon. He doesn't care whether he gets killed, whether everybody else gets killed, because he believes in the mission that he's been sent by the World Economic Forum. Worst prime minister ever. No, he's not the worst. He's not the worst. But his job, like I've said before, his job, Warmelian, is just to lead the battalion. He knows he's going to be killed. He knows people are going to hate him, but he has to do it anyway. He's been told. I don't know who tells him, but he says, listen, he believes in Team World, and he's fighting for Team World. I mean, I hope you guys are not Team World. I'm fighting for England and America, and Donald Trump is fighting for America. And maybe he's also fighting for England, too. He could be a good leader for England. To me, it looks like Starmer is biting inside his mouth when he's exposed by Trump to keep his facial expression steady. Yes, it does. It looks like he's about to lie. And he knows he has to lie. And he knows he has to battle somebody who... Is Trump smarter than him? Well, he's losing it a bit, but Trump knows at least what's going on. And he knows that... You hope he does. You hope he knows. You remember, I was in Britain. I didn't know anything about Britain before I moved to Britain. Look at all the Americans who come here, and they think Britain is one way. And so today I was asked to go on GB News and say what Americans are thinking about Britain, and I'm on my way there. A bit late. Had to take a taxi. Cost a fortune, but they're paying me some money. Anyway, here's the point. And I'm thinking, what do Americans know about Britain? And how can you even ask me that question when British people don't know what's going on in this country? British people don't know that this country has been taken over, has been allowed to be run rampant by the Labour, Tory / Uniparty, by the globalists. I'm walking in London, and I'm on the train in London, and I'm saying, where are the London people? The way London people used to look. Where did they go? And why have they been replaced? And there is replacement. There is replacement. Okay? So I'm thinking, British people don't know. You don't know that there are two teams. There's Team Britain and there's Team World. And Keir Starmer is fighting for Team World, which is not this country. which isn't the people in this country. Lewis, I went into a cake shop in Glasgow. I said, is that custard or meringue? The lady said, no, you're wrong. It's custard. Is that custard? Is that custard or meringue? The lady said, no, you're not wrong. It's custard. The lady said, no, you're not wrong. It's custard. The lady, I don't understand that. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. I used to be so intelligent. Can I tell you something? Can I thank you for listening to me in my mental? Ian, can you please explain that? I went into a cake shop in Glasgow. I said, is that custard or a meringue? And the lady said, no, you're not wrong. It's custard. You're right, Lewis. He looks permanently guilty, Starmer. I was told this today by someone, and I said, that's a great point. He's a weak person. Trump is the king. You know what? You hate to say it. Trump is the king. Maybe he's a bit weaker than he used to be, but he is the king. And I don't want to hear anything about, what's his name? About Jeffrey Epstein. Yeah, I was doing a comedy thing, and I'm quite interesting. I don't know if I'm funny anymore, but I'm quite interesting. Lewis, I believe in the Donald. That's what Claire says. So what is Ian Hakes? He's got no chance, Ian. I've got no chance. I don't understand. I'm not from this country, and I'm also an old man. I'm 68 years old. 68 years old. But that doesn't mean I can't make women happy, and men too, maybe. Speaking of the train, after last week's march, I stayed on to the end of the district line to Upminster. I was shocked to see what appeared to be indigenous people only at that part of the journey. Yeah, they want us out. I guess they want us out. Whether you call them indigenous too, The fact is that someone has made a decision that we're going to import people into the country. Thank God for you, Ian. I was about to slit my wrists over yet more Starmer news. What are you saying, Joodles? What does that mean? So Adam Hudson says that there's only, whatever indigenous people mean, whatever that means, the people who were here before the latest people arrived. It's always going to happen. I grew up in New York City, and New York City was the same thing. It was like, it wasn't, I know you think America's a multicultural place, but it wasn't always that way. The problem is that it's been going on for so far long. We are now at a point where the younger people only ever known one side since school, college, or uni. Most of us, for most of us, it's crept up. This is what High-Toe Kermit says. Kermit says, yeah, it's crept up. You suddenly look around and you think, this is like America with multiculturalism. We don't need We don't need multicultural. You go to the Amazon. You don't want to see multiculturalism amongst the Amazonian people. Do you want to see that? No. You want to go see Indians who are living down there. And that's what I think, Lewis. So I went to a Chinese restaurant, says Ian Hague, and I said, the noodles are a bit crunchy. The waiter said, you're eating the chopsticks. Oh, I understand that joke. 68 years old, says Claire, and hotter than anyone. Yes, we have to listen to Claire. We have to listen. The tech deal that was signed today will make health data, financial data, and all of our other data available to globalist tech giants, all in the guise of AI progress and investment. Yeah, I saw him say that, and then you got to question it. I mean, who knows? Who knows? There's so much we don't know. And maybe he's being told this is the only way to go. This is the only way to go, basically. But thank you, Vatanoy, for that good point. For that really good point. I mean, but we've been worried about all this information forever. Okay? And at some point it becomes too much information, TMI. What can they do with it? I'm going to ask Vatanoy, what can you do with all that AI stuff? And people don't believe it anyway, AI stuff. Google Lewis Schaffer and see what it comes up with. Who knows what they say? There's Daryl. Hello, Daryl M. Good to see you. And she says hello to Lewis Schaffer. Hey, let's get thin. Let's everybody get thin. I went on the way home, I stopped by a a Wetherspoons. And there was a lady behind the thing, a lady working there. And she was, I mean, I'm not gonna say where it was, but she was proper fat. Not even like what I would call fat, like you people. I would say maybe you're a little fat. I'm saying she was proper fat, like she could not stand up. She was American fat. She was really fat. I didn't say anything because I'm a lovely guy. You know that about me. I'm a lovely guy. We got 34 viewers here. That's brilliant. We had over 50 yesterday. So we're doing really well. Steve Cup says male menopause. Um, is that what you're saying about me, Steve, that I have the male menopause? I'm not going to say that I'm doing well because how do you believe somebody says, oh, I'm rock hard? How do you say I'm rock hard? Anyway, so Daz says, I grew up in a multicultural school and the same people were doing the same things over and over again. I grew up with it and I don't accept it. I'm not super young though, so it may be different now. What does that mean? And the same things over and over again. The same people doing the same things over and over again. Um, like a farm, Lewis. I don't understand what that means either. Let's talk to me in English. Don't be mean to farms. I don't know what it means. Thank you. You're hot, says Steve Cuff. I appreciate that more than Claire, even though I love when Claire says I'm hot. But I appreciate when a man says that I'm hot. It's very important to me. You have to respect those people for going to work, though, Lewis. It's definitely harder for them. And many would just stay at home. Well, I did actually point that out. I did point that out, Lewis. I would Google you any day of the week. There you go. Thank you, Claire. But Alan Williams, I mean, who said that? Kermit, I did say that. But I don't know if it's good for Wetherspoons. The woman looked like she was going to die. We have to lose weight. It's so important for us to lose weight. Is that too bright? Is this side too bright? Maybe I darken this side like that. How about like that? Is that better? The sign behind you says "Uwis." Uwis. It does not say Uwis, Ian. Uwis. Yeah, good. I'm a bit creepy. I'm not that creepy. I'm a bit creepy. Am I a bit creepy? Anyway, so that's number one. So I get invited to GB News. Donald Trump is talking to Keir Starmer. And I knew I was going to be bumped. They come out, they bump me, but at least, they're going to pay me. I hope they're going to pay me. I had to pick up my blue blazer and white shirt. Not that what I'm wearing now. It's not what I'm wearing now. And I got bumped. But it's good to go back to work. I mean, even if it's for a second. Wetherspoons breakfast is fantastic. $2.99 for a sausage, bacon, and egg, with unlimited coffee. That is totally true. Yeah, well, that's why I go eat there. When I go to Wetherspoons, I usually have like that replaced with an egg, and that replaced with an egg, and that replaced with an egg. Daz. So you are right. That's really good stuff. Wetherspoons. Is it the best stuff in the world? I mean, I have eggs, and I just eat the egg yolks. It's not the best because I eat raw eggs here, and maybe I'm going with someone who doesn't like eggs, but I have to force them to eat eggs otherwise. Anyway, it certainly wouldn't be good for somewhere like Pure Jim. What would not be good for someone like Pure Jim? Okay, who are you talking to, Kermit? I don't know. Who are you talking to? Make sure we address people. If you're talking to me, do you have a cat? I used to have a cat named Phoebe. You can Google me, my cat Phoebe. Does it say I've got a cat? Does it say I've got a cat? Because I used to post pictures of my cat. Claire is like really into the skinny. The first positive thing I've said about the UK in 30 years. What was that? What did you say, Daz? That Wetherspoons is fantastic. Yeah. There's one in every town. And you always get a seat. And you can sit in the corner and not be bothered. There's nobody like touching you. And you don't have a wait staff. It's really, there are lots of positive things about it. You can go and hide. I don't drink really, but the beer is cheap. If you want to have a beer or something, it come with it. I had a a lemon soda, which isn't the best thing. And I had a lemon soda, and it was £1.98 or something. That's brilliant. Yes, a round of applause for Wetherspoons. A round of applause. But it's also putting other people out of business. Basically, it's putting other things out of business. I like the sound of unlimited coffee. Coffee. When you come from New York, you talk like this. Talk, T-A-U-K. Talk like this. You can all have a New York accent if you talk like this. You talk like this. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I went to speech therapy to get rid of my New York accent. I still have it, but it's not quite as bad as it used to be. But thank you, Daz, for saying nice things about Wetherspoons. And Wetherspoons is the UK. You know, you got to go for it. That guy, Tim, whatever his name is, he's brilliant. Yeah, I did that Wetherspoons deal last week before the march. I think I managed 7 coffees before having to set off. That's really true. That's really true. Having 7, it's got that machine there. It just shows how expensive coffee should be. I mean, I bought a cup of coffee on the way to the studio, £3.30, and that was cheap. Lewis, I just found a picture of your cat Phoebe. That's my cat Phoebe. She's quite big and canine looking. Did AI say that I have a cat? Joe's in Portsmouth. That's where Paul Cox comes from, exactly. I think we have 4 in Portsmouth, yeah. Have I bored you with the fact that Tim Martin, Wetherspoons fellow, went to school in Northern Ireland? Mr. Wetherspoon was one of his teachers who told him he'd amount to nothing in life. Well, that's an American story. If somebody says you're going to amount to nothing, and he comes up and becomes a success, I don't really believe that. I tell my kids they'll amount. I'm not saying I say that. Okay. But that's very interesting, Joodles. You can talk to me all day. You know that. I think we have at least 2 spoons in my town, maybe 3. One is in an old Art Deco picture house. That's maybe, I'm glad you mentioned that, Kermit. That's the best part about the British Wetherspoons, is that he's saving old buildings. Saving old buildings. I've been in a lot of them. I don't know how many I've been in. But the one, I don't know what it's called in right above the Baker Street tube station. You're totally right, Kermit. That's an old Art Deco picture. Don't tear down anything, people. No building should ever be torn down. Let's leave it to the Germans to bomb us with whatever. I don't think the Prime Minister has been at home much. Larry has had the place to himself. Well, maybe that's where my Phoebe is. I remember photos on Twitter of you and Phoebe. Yes, I don't put that many photos. She got really upset about me publicizing her. A lot of people. I'm an attention seeker. I don't mind my picture being up there. But ever since they killed Charlie Kirk, you've got to say to yourself, maybe it's not the right thing to be heavily publicized. We're up to 35 viewers, I think. I think we're up to 35. We're doing really well. I don't know if today's going to be as good a show as yesterday's show. Yesterday's, we had over 50 people watching. These are 50 of people that we know. Is there anybody else here that you don't know? Now we all know each other. It's so amazing, and that's the best thing. Today, my neighbor, this is Alan Williams pointing this out. Alan Williams says, complained to my landlord, and while my toilet was being deemed unsafe to use, my doctor told me my leg is out of warranty. How is everybody? Okay, let's find out what that means. My neighbor complained to my landlord, and while my toilet was being deemed unsafe to use, my doctor told me my leg was out of warranty. Is that a joke? Is that a joke, Alan? Can you please explain that joke to me? Do you guys all know that that's a joke? You know what this show has become? It's like, let's tell Lewis something that only we know, but he has no idea what we're talking about. That's what this show has become. Not even a show. That's what this stream has become. It's the weirdest. Okay. It was peak trolling to name the whole thing after him, Claire. Is that Wetherspoons? Larry won't recognize Starmer. No. Do we recognize him? Is he English? He's not English. He's a communist. I think, is that considered to be hate speech to call him a communist? Is it wrong? I'm making a joke. This is all satirical comedy. Comedy. I'm a satirical comedian. I think the one in Ross on Y is the old post house. Though maybe after his time. I've been in Ross on Y. I've been in that area there in the Y Valley. It was fantastic. It was fantastic. When you use the NHS in the future, your records will be sold to a company who will analyze your records, recommend your medications, which they will sell to you. Well, you know what, Vatanai? That's only if we keep going in this direction. And based on what's happening to this country, there won't be these big businesses. There won't be any businesses. We'll be living in a primitive, whatever it is. What do you call that? Iron Age time. Not even iron. Whatever. Iron Age. Nick on GB News last night. Your good self almost on today. It was nearly like the old days. Yeah, thank you, Stuart. It would have been nice. It was good to go in there, It was good to go in there. Starmer spent a few grand on cats for his kids. Yet there are thousands. Did he really? I don't know. He's got, his wife maybe made him do that. I don't think that, it doesn't sound like something that he would do. But it might be something that he would do. We love you, Lewis, says Ian Higgs. Well, I appreciate that. You still haven't explained what that joke was about the custard and the meringue. But I'll accept that you love me. I love you too, Ian Higgs. The Spoons in Chard, Somerset, is the old cinema, nicely restored. Yeah, they do a very good job. That is the best thing, to save buildings. You're on the right hand of God. Okay? Howling. It's very funny when you don't get stuff, Lewis. You can't deny us that simple pleasure. I mean, I'm trying my best because I'm supposed to be a paid professional comedian. And people just laugh. They're laughing at me because I'm not an idiot. I know. I'm not. Maybe I am an idiot. Doctors used to get paid for prescribing meds. It's probably still happening. Well, it's happening. What do you mean that they're taking that all that information is out there and there are companies that are using the information? I don't know. Is Starmer human? I thought he was a robot, says Warmelian. It's an interesting question. Is Starmer human? Well, he's a communist. He's not our human. He's not fighting for England. That's what you want. The king is not fighting for England. Maybe Donald Trump doesn't really understand what the king is doing. Or maybe he sees through it. Maybe he's smart enough to see through it. It's not a joke. This is my actual day. What, your leg is not working? Are you low carb, Alan? Be low carb. That's what we're doing. Nick said that he'd retired from comedy. How can a comedian retire? As they will always be funny and have funny thoughts. That's a good question. It's like retiring. I mean, I'm not going to say what it's like retire. I know what you're saying, Steve Cuff. It's like saying, I don't even want to say what it is. I've stopped being an NAZI. I've stopped being a PEDF. That kind of thing, Steve Cuff. That's quite funny. Let the weak use the NHS. Once they are gone, the globalist data model won't work for us that remain. Yes, we should stop using Adam Hudson, stop using the NHS. I use the NHS for tests and things, and I stop taking tests. Starmer is an example of his father's work as a tool maker, says Claire to Warmelian. Music left the part out with a medication they sell us on a... Watanai's music says, you left out the part out with a medication they sell us unalives you. Yeah, I wouldn't take medication. I mean, if I get cancer, I'm not going to go on chemo, and I'm not going to go on surgery, and I'm not going to go on whatever the radiation. I'm going to lower my carbs even lower than they are now. I mean, they're not even that low. They're about 100, lower than 100. I'm bad. I'm a bad boy. Red Knight is here. Trump absolutely schooled Starmer. I think Trump was secretly told to call a general election soon told him to call in a general election soon. He will make sure he gets a golden handshake. Trump wants Farage, and so do we. Well, yeah. Is that what he said in the thing? Is that what he said in the thing? I don't know what we're doing here. Oh, Lucy is in town. Lucy's here. Lucy. I'm a huge fan of Lucy. She doesn't really think I am. Do you think I am a huge fan of Lucy. Anyway, so that's a good point. I think the Stag's Head was the one that had the padding above the urinals to save one old guy who kept knocking himself out on the wall. Reuben. That's what Kermit says. Okay, where is the Stag's Head? Where is that? Or the lovely Hope and the Anchor on the river. Is that the ones that are out there on the right? Oh my God, I'm confusing myself now. This is what Judel says. I love Judels. I like being too loving to you people. Maybe I should play hard to get. I'm too nice to you. You think, we could just be... We don't have to give Lewis any love because he's just like begging for attention. And it's true, I do beg for attention. The only way GPs get enough money to break even is to show they are giving blood pressure meds, diabetes meds, and vaccinations. Vatanai, that's totally true. And you forget the other stuff too. You forget the statins. You forget the statins, blood pressure meds, diabetes meds, and vaccinations. I'm trying. It's really hard to say. Maybe this light's a bit bright. How about that? It's really hard to say to a doctor, no, I'm not taking that pill. I do because I've got balls, but the rest of the people, and I'm an idiot. I don't recommend taking any pills, but I've been on the losartan for a month. I've run out of the losartans, and so I didn't take a pill today. We'll take one tomorrow if we can go get some, or maybe we won't. Maybe I'll see how my blood pressure is, and because it's still high. I did like Nick's facial expression when he was introduced as a comedian. He must have said 1,000 times he's no longer one. But yes, I agree. Nick is naturally funny. Huge fan of Nick Dixon. He's been horrible to me at times, but mostly he's good. He means well. But it's like calling once you do the comedy, you're a comedian forever. I hate to say it. Because they'll always look at you like, are you being funny? There's some jobs, some things that you do once. What's his name said the joke? My friend, what's his name? He said, oh my God, I can't remember his name. I'll remember his name eventually. He said that they were calling, this is an old joke, calling Jimmy Carter President Carter. And he said he's not the president. He hasn't been the president for years and years. I used to wash dishes. They don't call me the dishwasher now. That you know what I mean. You get what I'm saying. Okay, Stuart's right about Nick's facial expression. He's totally right. I need another appointment, Judels. No worries. Well, you've got to lose weight. You've got to lose weight. You've got to be low carb. Thin. Being thin cannot save you if you're on a high carb diet. I'm speaking to people who are friends of mine here. Reuben comes in. He's Jewish. He's Jewish. He's got a great big Jewish star. Laugh out loud. It was a little back street. It was in a little back street where the canoe manufacturers were. Okay, I don't know what that means. What does that mean? Do you guys know what that means? Laugh out loud. Put a capital and a period. It was in a little back street by where the canoe manufacturers were. It's not. Are you talking to me? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to, Reuben? Come on, Reuben. There was a fair amount of overthinking there, Steve. You know what? I love this. You're not even talking to me. I'm reading this out, and I'm pretending like I know what you're talking about. How can I get, hold on a second. I put the timestamps back on. That's what I wanted. I wanted the timestamps on there. Okay, here comes Lucy. Lucy, what do you think about Jimmy Kimmel's firing? Uh, well, what I heard, and this is what I heard from the boss of I mean, I'm gonna name drop Angelo, the boss of GB News. He said that 131, a big company that owns 131 local stations in America, which is a lot of stations. I think there are about 300 or 400 stations. Every little area. If you picture America, it's got markets. Like New York is a big market, but let's say you're in Columbus, Ohio, or Shreveport, Louisiana. That's a market, and each of the markets has two or three or five local TV stations which are broadcast. In the same way, Britain has one. You know what I mean? It has like the BBC is one, and the ITV is two, and then BBC Two is three. So each one of these are independent companies. They used to be able to only own seven at maximum, and now this one guy owns 137, and 137. And they said, and the guy who owned the company said, you got to fire this man. We don't want him on at 11 o'clock. We're not going to put him on our station. And if you don't put him on the station, what that means is that maybe a third of the country is not getting his channel. So you're going to go bankrupt because it's like turning off a third of the station. Thank you, Lucy, for this question. I hope I'm being articulate in explaining this thing. So that's why, should he be kicked off the air? I mean, it's not his station. These are private stations, but at the same time, it's like the FCC is like Ofcom. You've got to have a approval if you're using the public airwaves. And there was maybe it wasn't even because there was pressure put on it by the FCC, but there could have been pressure. So, and he's gotten carried away. This guy Jimmy Kimmel. Let me just tell you something about Lewis Schaffer. I know these people. These are my people. These are me. Jimmy Kimmel is me. He's some Jew from America. I know this guy. He maybe went to my university that I went to, or went to, my high school growing up in Great Neck. I know these guys. And unfortunately, the left, so you can be a Jew and be left, or a Jew and be right. They're crazy. Jimmy Kimmel, I don't know, is he crazy? I don't know. I feel he'll do something else. It's like, look what happened to Tucker Carlson. He's landed on its feet. He's making even more money, Tucker Carlson. Not Lewis Schaffer. It looks like I've been demonetized. I assume, I haven't checked it, but I believe I've been demonetized. I haven't checked. I should check. So did I answer your question properly, Lucy Van Pelt? Did I answer that question? Ruben, yeah. This is what Kermit says. Yeah, near the back alley that takes you to the Maltings Shopping Center, near the PGL head offices are before they move to larger premises. Where is the Maltings Shopping Center? Isn't there I've been to a play. I've been to the Maltings out by the coast in Britain, in there. Maybe you're not even talking about anything that I know something about. Okay. Timestamps from the same place as Top Chat. Yes. Thank you, Kermit. Yeah, I figured that out. I don't know. I must have pressed something and they took them away. I like that they're there. I used to like when I used to see when people used to contribute money to Lewis Schaffer, and now they've taken that away from me, or they've asked you to take that away. I am thin, Alan Williams says, but my neighbor complained to my landlord. My toilet is unsafe to use, and my prosthetic leg is uninsured. Uninsured. Okay, it's unfortunate, Lewis. There should be free speech for everyone, but the communists said no free speech. So now they must also be unalived by the sword. Yeah. I mean, how important is free speech? I live by free speech, obviously. It's very important. I mean, but, we're fighting for our country right now. Should we fight for people who don't live in this country, who don't come from this country to have free speech? I believe that if you don't come from this country, if you're a citizen, you should have free speech. But if you're not a citizen, you should have the whatever the F whatever that is. You shouldn't have free speech. Free speech should be a right of the people that live here. You know, just like benefits or something. It should be just for people who live here, who are not resident here, not even resident. A citizen. If you're not a citizen, you know what I'm saying, including myself, and I'm not. But I get the free health care. But then again, I was invited to live in this country. But I haven't taken advantage. I haven't done any surgery or anything like that. I had one little bit of surgery on my knee. I get the inside track on the NHS funding. Vatanai said, yes, GP surgeries in hospitals from chatting to docs when they are in a car. One of them is high in the Somerset Trust. It's a terrible mess. Of course it is. They want people to take those. They bought all that medication. Remember, they bought that Tamiflu thing. It was supposed to save everybody. It doesn't even work. It's the same thing with COVID vaccines. It doesn't even work. Let's see. Sorry, Lewis Kermit. Ruben and I are still reminiscing about Ross on why. Okay, sorry about that. I didn't mean to yell at you, Kermit. I don't mean to yell at any of you. We're now in the 40s. We got people in the 40s here. The job I used to do in the call center has been replaced by an app and cheap workers overseas. Yeah, well, maybe they want us all to die because there's too many people here. There's too many people, and old people are very expensive. They don't work, and they demand the money. Okay, who are you saying, Steve? Alan, are you a vet? And Alan goes, no, these are separate matters. It's like dark planets aligning. Are you on a low-carb diet? That's what I ask over, and I forget what the answer is. We got too many people paying attention to this. I know most of you know this, but one of the biggest wastes in the NHS is the number of schemes, initiatives, and departments. They don't exist, but they still have managers that can't be sacked. Yeah, it's the government. It's the government. That's what happens. You have a government. And that's what Donald Trump was doing. And I heard a complaint about Donald Trump that that the Doge thing, that they basically forgot they were doing so well with the Doge, and then they just sort of forgot it. I don't know whether that's true. Have you heard? I don't know. I'm supposed to know this because I'm an American. Alan, Steve Cuff goes, Alan, I understand. I'm in a similar situation. Not the same thing, but lots of crap coming from different directions at the same time. And Judel steps in and says, Vatanai, a former colleague, now works for a medical supply company. The waste of money due to complete laziness and incompetence. Can't scan a barcode. Amounts to thousands per week. Yes. Yeah, well, what do you do about incompetence? Now we're talking about the NHS incompetence. But these are people you're going to listen to when you've got a problem with your health thing and they can't, you know what I mean? Why would you listen to the NHS? The NHS literally piss money up the wall, Kermit says. I was working there during the Tamiflu period, which I just mentioned, and was responsible for knowing where they all were. I wrote a spreadsheet that replaced a team of 7 administrators. Yeah. I mean, Tamiflu, that sounds like an absolute scam. How can you first of all, flu doesn't exist. I don't believe in germs. I don't believe in viruses or viri. And I don't believe in vaccines to help it. Darklands is in the house. Thank you, Darklands. Too many managers in the NHS. Well, you know what the problem is? The NHS is mainstream media, mainstream medical stuff, and they're wrong. It doesn't matter how many managers you have. If the core underlying belief system is wrong, if all these doctors and, how many fat nurses do you see? I shouldn't be bad-mouthing them. They're very good to me. They're very good. They mean well, but they're wrong. Naturopathy is the way. Nature provides a cure for just about everything. No, it does not. There's no cure. There's only prevention. And A cure is basically doing the right thing, Donna. So you say, oh, let's take this little pill or this little, what do you call that? Let's take this water that has the memory of this thing. No, you eat the right food. I eat the right food. I believe in that. And I'm 68 years old. I'm vigorous and I would do you. Also record all phone calls, Adam. A tip for anyone who tries to use an online chat or call center to help on something. Always write or speak to an advisor, or if that fails, type, press, or say things to confuse the system. So you don't have to, yeah. I guess so. It's thousands per hospital. The public knew. There'd be riots. No, they wouldn't. We live in England, Joodles. People don't riot here as much as they... I'm not saying they should riot, but they don't riot. Well, I do not approve of rioting. I'm a satirical comedian. I don't approve of that. I used to look so great. Should I get plastic surgery? Anyway, but yeah, so there you go. Ruben says, Lewis, I'm with you on the COVID vaccine, but some of your medical advice needs to be prefixed with I'm not a doctor and please consult a medical professional before taking any advice from me. I don't have to do that, I don't think, because I'm not a doctor. And you'd be absolutely crazy to listen to me as your only medical advice. Okay? I won't listen to you. I would like to check it out. If I say to you, I'm not taking this thing or I'm not going to do that thing, I would want to check it out. And unfortunately, you have to go to the internet and you got to watch a lot of YouTube videos. You've got to go to PubMed and read the thing. And I've done that. I've done thousands of hours of that. Thousands. But thank you very much, Ruben. Let the people know who are listening. I'm talking to you people out there. I am not a doctor. You'd have to be a fool to listen to me. But I can say this. I couldn't move my arm. My elbow was killing me. I got this thing, trigger finger. That was one of those painful things that I've ever had, trigger finger. I had frozen shoulder, which is called tensioning something. I had gout. I had bleeding gums. I had retinopathy. My eyes were crumbling, and I don't have any of them right now. And I'm just, you can't see what I'm doing, but this is, I mean, it's not perfect. But at one point, I was thinking I'll never have that again. I will never have that again. So if you ladies are thinking, I'm not saying when I get around to you, because I'm getting around to every single, no. Yes. So, yeah, so Donna, who I agree with most things, the only time you should see a doctor is if your arm's been ripped off. Basically, that's true. That's true if you've broken something or you've been on fire. They've got machines or to be tested. But if you go in there and you've got psoriasis, change your diet. Eat an all-meat diet. Stop eating carbs. This is what I believe. You could tell me what your diet is. Should not. Let's say your teeth are rotten. Stop eating carbs. Let's say you've got gout. Like I had gout. Stop eating carbs and alcohol and that stuff. Most people are more likely to trust Google these days. And Google lies too, but you have to. I must have seen 10,000 hours of videos. Starting with a guy called the name of Tim Noakes. And he said, don't eat carbs. I go, what? What is this? What is a carb? I didn't even know what a carb is. Judith wants me to get plastic surgery because she comes from Northern Ireland. What does Claire want me to do? She says, no, you're perfect. Okay. I said, well, let's see what's going on. You save them $7 million. This is Kermit's job. Okay. What did I do here? What did I do with Kermit's job? I saved them over £7 million in the 7 months I was there. I rewrote their policies and was then dispensed with for someone on 3 times my pay to carry out the policies I wrote. Yeah, that's what happens when you work for human beings. That's what happens. That's what happens when you work for human beings. They don't even have proper lenses. They're clear. Okay. Anyway, I'm talking about the eyeglasses that I just put on. I just found them here. Yeah, that's sad, Kermit. That is really sad. I've probably skipped a few people here. Okay, what is going on here? I missed the thing. Oh, I know I'm a little bit confused. There are net zero officers at most hospitals. There are net zero officers and sustainable refuge management, not to mention DEI managers. Yeah, they should all be gone. First of all, net zero is a lie. Climate change is a lie. DEI is like basically let's screw English people. Let's screw whatever. We need to fight for the Angles, the Saxons, the Jews. And when I say fight, I don't mean like actually hurt anybody. I don't. Maybe I do. I don't know what I mean. I'm a satirical comedian, or I'm trying to be a satirical comedian. Am I funny enough for you to call me? I'm not funny enough, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying. I'll be funnier again. Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much, Fatin. I appreciate it. I think they're getting to know this, Joodles. So much money being peed away, says Joe. You're right. You're right. Okay. Most people are more likely to trust Google these days. Yeah. Well, Google is a mixture of information. You wouldn't go, my doctor says that. How many times do I hear them say, my doctor? Like your doctor's an idiot. He's one guy. I wouldn't listen to one guy, even if he was the smartest guy in the world. Because, let's say he's 95% of the time he's right. He might be only right 5. That means he's wrong 5% of the time. We eat a lot of things now that we never did thousands of years ago. Exactly. Cooked food. Can you really imagine eating a sunflower to eat the seeds? No way did they do that. That's a modern thing we do now. We now do. Yes, Daz, you're totally right. Do not eat seeds. That's exactly. It's delicious. It's fun, but it's not good for you. And sunflower oil is super high in omega-6. It's not good for you. You are totally right, Daz. Eat beef. Eat raw eggs. Raw eggs. Go to my Google page. Where's my Google? There. Can you see this? Go to Twitter. Lewis Schaffer on X. Go there, and you could see what I eat. And I actually eat that towards the end of the day. I cheat on the way. Like today, I went to the studio and I had a couple of peaches. It was unnecessary for me to do it. And this morning, I stopped and I had a double sausage egg McMuffin, and I can't help it. I can't help it. I had the bun. And then I had, it's not that good. But it was good. It was delicious. Who doesn't like sausages? Sausages. Okay? Joodles. Joodles is talking to Vant and I. I've written many, many tenders for NHS trusts, and effing questions they ask that are worth so much percentage-wise is obscene. You're spot on. I don't understand that either. Paul Manning is here. Let's give Paul Manning a round of applause. We're 5 minutes behind on this stream. Let's see if we can catch up. 49. Okay, so where are we? Elections or erections? I always get mixed up whenever fist bump is involved. Yeah, who knows what I'm talking about? I'm 68. I hope. We can buy aspirin cheaper in the supermarket than the NHS buys it for, despite being one of the largest medical buyers in the world. And then they give it away for free. Give it away. Too many people. This is now Claire. That's Kermit says this. Yeah, it's a waste. The NHS is a waste. The NHS, don't go. I'm not saying don't go to the NHS, but you can cure yourself. Tell me what problems you have, and I'll give you the scientific explanation for it. You're high carb. You tell me you got a wooden leg. You'd be better off eating a low carb diet. Anyway, Too many people, managers of managers, and deputy managers. It's ridiculous. Thank you, Claire. You're exactly right. You're exactly right. Let's get back on track. Okay, I'm a bit to the thing. Judith says, just look at the Isla Bumba in the saddle. What does that mean? Look at Isla Bumba in the Sandy Peggy case. 60,000 pounds a year to write DEI policy, and admitted under oath she Googled it. Well, you got to give her credit for that. She hasn't wasted too much of her time doing it. I would Google it too. Why not Google it? What did they used to do? You used to go to the library and make a photocopy of something. Remember when they used to be called photocopies? That's similar to bank staff for years, Alan Hudson say, asking customers at the counter if they were using internet banking. Then they just lost their jobs. That's similar to bank staff for years, asking customers at the counter if they are using internet banking. Then they have lost their jobs. So you're saying they lost their jobs. They basically gave their jobs away by telling customers to use internet banking. Well, they're probably forced to do that, right, Adam? I mean, they're probably told by their bosses, you better mention the internet banking thing or we're going to fire you. Yes, we can only take it as satire or crap. Thank you, Ruben. Don't trust Google. If you ask one of the docs to go geoengineering, he looks in Google and believes it when it says no. Okay? Same if you ask him about globalist politics or vax injury. He believes Google. Yeah. Or he doesn't even go to Google. He probably just believes nice. He believes whatever, the British Medical Journal, whatever it is. Okay, Paul Manning is here, laughing at Ruben. Donna Aylesbury said, anything that has government involvement, all the civil service, comma. Can we put some commas in there? Commas in there, or a dash, maybe a dash between government involvement. But everything in the government is effed, yes, is effed. And I say that as a comedy satirist, paid professional comedian. Egg white omelets with fresh chilies. No. Egg white? What does egg white have, Darklins? What are chilies? Chilies are bad for you. They're toxic. That's why they've got, you know what the pepper has, the chilies have. It has stuff in it to make you not want to eat it. That's what capsaicin is. It's like a prevention from insects. We should stop paying for everything and find out what we miss. Start again. Yeah. Well, it's going to happen anyway. The country's going to. I've got to be more positive. Who knows if it is. Do you ever get bored with brisket and raw eggs? Of course, Joe, I do. Of course, Joe, I do. But I don't get bored with waking up in the morning pain-free. That I don't get bored with. I don't get bored, I'm walking around town and my feet don't hurt. Okay? I don't get bored of not being tired. So the answer is, Joe, raw brisket, and raw eggs, yes. I have about 10 eggs a day. I mean, today I won't. But Darklins, egg whites have nothing in them practically. I eat a few egg whites if I'm making, but basically I eat whatchamacallit. I eat egg yolks, just raw egg yolks. I take the egg yolks, I put them in my hand, and I take the egg whites out, and I put them in a bowl, and then I put about 8 to 10 grams of a Parmesan cheese. I love asparagus. Anything that makes you piss smell like that has to be good for you. Mozzarella and Parma ham with my lovely simple dish. Don Aylesbury. What do you think that I think about asparagus? It's so environmentally incorrect. You know, it basically it takes 2 years to grow asparagus. And why does it make your piss that color? It's got some toxic stuff in it. Asparagus. It's fake food. It's not real food. Nobody wants asparagus. Imagine eating asparagus with nothing in it. It's no. Mozzarella cheese. I eat mozzarella cheese practically every day. Maybe I shouldn't. And Parma ham. Well, that's also good. But it's whatever, it's cured. And maybe cured food isn't as good as raw beef. Maybe. Claire, don't listen to him, as he's more a dietitian than a doctor. What did Claire say that I have to fight for? Okay. Oh, what happened there? Oh my God, I've fallen behind. We're not talking about that, Paul Manning, but what caused white dog poo? Carbs, whatever, plant-based diet. Keir Starmer loves a sausage. He even wanted the sausages to be released. Anyway, we worship you, Lewis, says Russ. I appreciate being told that. Thank you very much. Adam, his mouth must really water when he shakes hands with Charles. Okay, whose mouth is that? Okay, I'm going to have to move ahead a little bit. Let me make sure if you think what you said was important and I didn't read it, put it up again. Put it up again. Tony Blair and BFI, Private Finance Initiative, killed the finances of the hospitals. Well, hospitals, you know what I mean? You can't have unlimited health care. It's like having an unlimited lobster. You're on a ship, a lobster buffet. Of course, you can't have unlimited lobster and high quality at the same time, Donna. You can't do that. The public entities like the NHS need to be run more efficiently, like businesses would be, rather than having this attitude of never-ending cash. So it doesn't matter. You're right, Kermit, but you cannot have a public company because everybody want health care as if they're rich, and they're not rich. They don't deserve the same health care that a billionaire deserves. If Elon Musk gets sick, they fly him to the best hospital in the world. There's not enough money to fly the people who are on the NHS to the best hospital in the world. It's like, how long is a piece of string? It could go on forever. Okay. Hey, everybody, let's get back on track. We've been here for an hour. You've listened for an hour, Adam. Make sure we like everything. Claire and Steve and Daz and Gammy Rust. Let's all like this thread. Oh, my God. Unlimited lobster. Of course we support that. Unlimited free lobster. Like we're on how good could it be? I mean, it could be good, but it'll bankrupt the ship. I went to a Parmesan farm outside Medina, in 2008. Amazing. They sell a soft cheese called Toscone, which is basically fresh, soft, unaged Parmesan. It's yummy. Well, God bless the Italians. God bless the Italians and their cheese. English cheese is good too. I eat that cheese every single day. Every single day. Lorna, welcome, Lorna. I love asparagus, sinky piss or not. You think you do because it's so expensive. My van is off the road at the moment, Steve Cuff says, and I don't know what's wrong with it. Listening to Lewis, think it might be the carb. That's a good joke. Yeah. Does it have a carburetor? Or what do you don't call it you used to call it a carburetor, but you also called it something else. What do you English people call a carburetor? There you go. Claire was waiting for the train, so thank you very much, Claire. Okay. How do you weigh a whale? Let's see what it says. Yeah. Mormellian says eating asparagus is like eating crusty rubber. We've been sold on anything green is toxic. Anything from the plants is toxic. It may not kill you immediately. Dominic Frisbee, yes, what happened with Dominic? I was watching him earlier on the podcast on how the U.S. is trying to reset the value of the dollar. Very interesting. I'm going to have to watch that. Reset it high or reset it lower. I mean, they're always trying to reset it lower with printing money. I like Dominic Frisby. If you want to know a good guy, Dominic Frisby is a good guy. Dominic Frisby is a good guy. I'll say it until it goes in your brain, and the next time you see Dominic Frisby at a show, you go up to him and you say, Lewis Schaffer really spoke so highly of you. I don't remember exactly what he said, but he speaks very highly of you. Foreigners never pay for our NHS, unlike when we have accidents abroad. That's so true. It's so true. They should be forced to pay. But because Keir Starmer believes in one world, try getting money out of the foreigners. What are you telling Darklands? Don't talk Darklands out of being in the Lewis Schaffer cult. I always do my asparagus in Yorkshire butter. Delicious. I've got a better idea for you, Lorna. Skip your asparagus and just eat the Yorkshire butter. I put the Yorkshire butter on my beef every single day. I don't even eat that much of it. I only eat about 30 grams of butter a day. But I also eat beef tallow, which is like butter. Cook your asparagus in butter, says Paul Manning. Asparagus' flavor is water-soluble, so if cooked in butter or oil, it retains more flavor. You don't need the flavor. It's not real flavor. It's animal flavor. Let's see. I hope the asparagus always consents. I don't know. There's a joke there. It sounds like it could be very funny. I also grow Calvio Nero, which means black, whatever that is. When I put it in this, that's that kind of thing that looks like kale, right? Could that be that kind of thing that looks like kale? I boil it and then put it in a skillet with garlic and butter. Just eat the garlic and the butter. I got a better idea. Throw the garlic out and just eat the butter. That stuff is probably high in oxalates. I'm going to Google that right now. I'm thinking what Calvio Nero is, Donna, and we'll see if it's high in oxalates. We'll have to see that. All right, we got over 40 people listening to this. Calvio Nero oxalates. Okay, UK. Let's see what it says. Is a type of kale, I said kale, which contains significant amounts of oxalate, similar to other kale varieties. While rich in nutrients, it should be consumed in moderation by those on a low oxalate diet, which is every single one of us. You want to have gout. You want to have kidney stones. Have a high oxalate diet. Kidney stones, oxalate, combined with calcium. Do you know about oxalates? Do you know about it? Do I have to tell you what oxalates do? That's also something good to do, is rub some Yorkshire butter. Yes, Lorna. Yeah. Oxalates, these are things that are in plants. The plants don't want themselves eaten. Okay? What do you think of avocados? It's a so-called superfood. It's a nothingness. Is it a superfood? It's not a superfood. It's plant. It's not even fat. It's just plants. You get all the food, all the fat you need with butter, with high-fat beef. You don't get the fat taken off the beef with eggs. You need fat. So Darklands, I do not eat avocado. It's not the worst food in the plant food variety, but it's not good. My friend brings lobster that he catches in his lobster pot to the South Coast to make a great linguine. No good for Lewis due to the pasta. Yes, you can eat the lobster, but don't eat the linguine. Don't eat the linguine. The linguine pasta is amazing. It is amazing. I had a muffin today. And it's very addictive. And linguine is amazing food. Pasta is but it is not good for you. Donna, this is what I say. Maltese Phil is here. Finally, you came late. Good to see you. She wants butter rubbed on her butt, I guess. And you have to sometimes. I mean, I'm not going to say what I use because I'm not perfect. We used to grow a type of kale for our cattle. That's right. And you know the kale, 99% of kale was used in what do you call those? In vegetable, what do you call those things? In buffet bars at horrible restaurants in between the bowls. And then people said, oh, let's eat this. And it's not good for you. And then you walk up, why am I feeling pain? Why am I? And it takes years to get rid of it. Let's see. Where do you weigh a whale? At the whaleway station. At the whaleway. At the whaleway. At the whaleway station. At the railway station. Okay, I got that. I got it. Kermit, good joke. A joke that took me a bit to laugh at, but I thought it was funny. I agree, but I'm a veggie. So no, what does that mean, I'm a veggie? Just stop being a veggie. You're not saving a single life. You're involved. People who are veggies, you're killing animals because you're not allowed them in the fields. And all the veggies. Oh, hold on a second. Is the mic good? I don't have this on. Does this sound better? Does this sound better? I've just changed something. Was the mic good? Saying I'm a veggie so I can't eat meat. Who made you a veggie? Who told you you should be a veggie? Even if you're a Hindu, you should eat meat. People should. The reason why did they say you can be a veggie as a Hindu? Because they were saying poor people, rich people, maybe because of the Muslims they ate the meat, but the Muslims can't eat pork. Maybe why do they say you can't eat pork? I don't like avocado, says Lorna. Okay, there you go. Oh, there you go. Marlon Brando like butter. Do you remember that? I never saw that movie. I was slightly too young. And I didn't see it when I was older. Depending on Lewis's stamina, you might be on the train at the end of the stream. You might be on the train, says Steve Cuff. Yeah. Well, we're going to go we'll see how we're doing. Alan Williams, do not eat the linguine. Don't eat it. Just eat it's there. You know what it is? Linguine is so cheap. And a lobster is so expensive. They say, well, let's save a couple of pounds by giving you okay, there you go. How does it sound now? Mic quality has been good for me. Okay, thank you, Alan. Because I just pressed a button, and maybe it'll change it. Malcolm has just stood on the duder and turned you over, Lewis. Okay, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. You know what it is? It's like I've actually spoken. I mean, I feel bad because I've actually spoken to Kermit, and he seems like a very reliable guy. And that's what I'm thinking about you people too. You know that you're all right, Darkins. I decided to be a veggie in 1986. Love the smell of bacon. Well, eat the bacon, Dark. You know you're not getting any respect from me because you're a veggie. Oh, you're a veggie. I think you're a great person because you're not killing animals. Bunk. Fact is, there are more animals. I read a book called Why Animals Choose Domesticity. Google that title. I forgot what it's called. Why Animals Choose Domesticity. Why they choose to be eaten. It's like there are 1 billion chickens in the world, at least maybe 1 billion. But how many eagles? Because eagles are ornery and they're hard to keep. While a chicken is like, oh, chickens that get along. It's like with girls. If you want to make Lewis Schaffer love you, you go, oh my God, I love you, Lewis. That's all you got to do. It's not that complicated. Eat pasta if you like. You don't have to eat it every day. Fatanai, no. You got to say, you will. If you say I'm not going to eat it at all, you'll eat it less. Leanne is in the house. Beautiful Leanne. Looking and sounding gorgeous as per. I guess it's a hug or something. Well, thank you, Leanne. She's a patriot. We were at the march together, Leanne and I. Beautiful. Duder is Northern Ireland for remote control. I think he'd had enough of you shouting at Darklands. Oh, okay. You wanted me to lower. I didn't mean to shout at her. I don't mean to shout at her. If in a second, it's on mic auxiliary, and I'm concerned that maybe it shouldn't be on mic auxiliary. And maybe because it was off before. So I'm thinking maybe I should turn it off. Animals don't choose to be domesticated, you pleb. How do you know they don't choose it? How do you know? All those dogs, how did a dog become domesticated? Because they realized that if they were nice dogs, maybe they didn't choose to be domesticated, but the ones who were the nicest got the humans food, so they would stay outside the, whatchamacallit. There's an echo, echo, echo. Is there an echo? Okay, I've just pressed the button. I've just pressed the button. How do you hear me now? If someone tells me to do something, even if it's Lewis, I want to do the exact opposite. I'm the same way, Vatanai. I'm the same way. I'm the same way. Why are you echoing? Don't turn it down. I didn't turn it down. I pressed the thing in the mixer on the live stream because I thought that was supposed to be on, but I guess it's not. Because remember, I wrote it down. Did it say that? It said mic auxiliary to the max. But now you're telling me to tape the button off so you don't press it. Which button? The max auxiliary button? It's just like a click. It's just a sound thing with a line through it. Okay. How does it sound right now? How does it sound right now? How do I look right now? How does it sound right now? I've got to do something about the light back here. I've got to do something about this. Okay. Oh, we still in the 40s here. I think I should take a 2-minute break. Can I take a 2-minute break? Echo, echo, echo. Wow, wow, wow. What does Kermit say? What does Kermit say? Can you hear me echoing? What did you miss about Kermit? Kermit's been very helpful. And he's very good looking, Leanne. How did last night go? It went surprisingly well. We're doing a sound check right now. Oh, that's like the monitor. So you can monitor your own voice, but we can hear it twice as you don't wear headphones. Okay, there you go. Always something. So can you hear it twice? Is there an echo right now? The echo is gone. Can't you read? No, I don't see that. Where did it say echo is gone? Oh, you said it up there. I need a lot of people. I'm not reading everything. I got a whole string of stuff. But I do appreciate it. You're fine with the sound now, Lewis. Thank you, Joodles. Thank you, Joodles. Maltese Phil. Oh. No, it's good now. Okay, that's good. Okay, so I'm not going to press any button. Is there an echo chamber, Paul Manning? Why does he say there's an echo chamber? Don't even joke about anything, Paul. We're not joking. The sound is good. And you're making jokes. Anything to do with the sound, off limits for jokes. Go have a break. Let me go I'm gonna get a glass of water. I'm gonna wipe my face, and we're gonna continue to talk about this. This show has been the best show ever. Can you tell it's the best show ever? Maybe not, but it's been a good show. Has it been a good show? Everybody, I'm going to the other room. I'm going to leave Studio B, whatever studio this is, Studio 2, Studio B, and I'm going to go in the other room. I'm going to go wash my face, and I'm going to come back. So, if you want to talk amongst yourselves, you can, but don't expect me to read it. Okay. All right. Okay. Lewis Schaffer's back. All right. You guys are so good. This has been the best show ever. I'm really happy. The stream is going really well. Okay. Okay. All right. So we're back. Lud is here. I just had to go in the other room. Everybody, let's go what we need to do. Thank you, Lud. Lud is a huge help to Lewis Schaffer. Can I just a round of applause for Lud? But Steve Cuff is brilliant too, and Leanne, of course. Did you see a picture of me? I posted on Twitter how beautiful Leanne was with beautiful Claire. And it was like there were some ugly moments there with the two of them fighting over Lewis Schaffer. It's Lewis, it's Lewis, it's Lewis. You can just see it was just so ugly. And I loved it. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. This is the best show ever. I would say as shows go, I'm doing my I'm on the third notch of this belt. I used to couldn't even put the belt on before. And now I can. Now I'm in the third notch. I spent ages doing the mixing the video. Okay, so let's go. Russ is saying something lovely, but here's the deal. Make sure we're on Twitter. Can we do that? Okay. Thank you, Claire. See, Claire is fighting it out with the fighting it out for Lewis Schaffer, which is what I like. Fight for Lewis Schaffer. Fight for the love of Lewis Schaffer. Anyway, oh my God, I'm so creepy. But the point is this. Let's go to Twitter. Lewis Schaffer at Twitter. Please friend me. Number one. Number two, as Maltese Phil says, like, and subscribe if you can. Okay? Darklands has subscribed. She subscribed 2 days ago. She's lovely, and she's a vegetarian. I'm not telling you should stop being I'm telling you should stop being a vegetarian. But don't, I'm not, maybe I shouldn't say that, but you can't expect me to go, oh my God, you're a vegetarian. It's the same thing if I said to you, I'm a carnivore. I only eat meat. You wouldn't go, yeah, that's great. I say I can't eat plants because I'm only a carnivore. That's number one. Okay, second thing is there's no joining because we've been demonetized. So maybe are you guys getting any ads in this thing? I don't know if you are or not. But and go to Discord too. Go to Discord, which Kinsey set up, and maybe she'll come back. I don't know. She's busy with her kids or something. She went out on a limb, okay, and she set this up for us to use. So after the show is over, okay, you can go and you can talk to people online right after the show is over. Right after the show is over. Okay, how about that? Let me just put this in here. On Discord. I don't even know if I support Discord, but let me make sure I'm getting the right information. I think my energy is getting stronger. There was a couple, I fell asleep the other day on the show, but you got to remember what this show is. I'm here all by myself, and my son isn't even here. He's working today. I assume he's working. I'm going to guess that he is working. I don't know if he's working, but he is working. Okay, here we go. Discord. Okay, I put the Discord up. I don't know how many second delay. Did we do the latency thing, Kermit? I'm not sure if we did the latency thing. Anyway, so that's not sure who I should love more, Lewis or Claire, for loving Lewis as much as she does. Yeah, that's the right thing to say to me, Leanne. And you get a point for that. Claire has a point for loving me, and you get a point for not being. I was making a joke. A joke. Lewis doesn't follow Joodles. Yes, I do. I think I do. How do you mean I don't follow Joodles? I do follow her. I don't do Twitter, Kermit says. But you're the best reason, too. You could only follow me and only see me on there. So there you go, on Twitter. Yeah. I mean, I basically post these old shows on Twitter. Maybe I should post the show on Discord. I post old shows, and I post pictures of what I'm eating. And if I go do a gig, I post a picture of me at the gig. Basically, I never use Twitter either. Leanne says only use it to find out what where Lewis had disappeared to. Yeah, it's a good way to know. It's a good way to know. I've got 1,300 followers. That's not a lot, but that is not a lot. And we've been doing, and this thing got 41 viewers. What has amazed me, and I've said this all. Maybe this is the not boring part. This is the boring part of the show. Is it one that the level of people who've been following this stream on every single show is basically the same. It doesn't go like up and then down and disappear. Leanne says we love Kinsey. How can you not love her? She set the thing up. She's up there in Northern Ireland, so she's great. It appears to be a vacancy if you want to jump in there. Judel speaking to Alan. What, Lewis? Did you I did not unfollow her. I did not unfollow her. She is a bit, I'm not going to say she's a bit paranoid. What's the right word? She just thinks I'm not. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Judel's. Very scary woman. Very, very scary woman. But I'm a big fan. Can you do some kind of paper review, Lewis? I think that'll take off. Like Stephen Allen Green? Stephen Allen Green? Not Stephen Allen. Steve N. Allen. Stephen Allen Green is somebody else. Like Stephen Allen. Like do a paper show. No, I don't want to report what they're reporting. We do a paper show. We discuss the news. Don't we discuss the news? I'm on X, but I only follow Lewis and some porn stars. What makes you think I'm not a porn star, Maltese Phil? I'm taking that as an insult. I'm a porn star. Scary, you are scary, Judels. She is scary. She is scary. First of all, let's talk honestly. She's a woman, and all women are scary. Even the nicest ones, even ones that are unbelievably complimentary and loving, like Claire or Leanne. Even those ones are really scary because they can stop being loving. I remember my wife. She stopped loving me, and that was a dark day when a woman looks at you and they don't even know you're there. They're horrible. That's what makes women horrible. They don't even hate you. You are like you're like, what's the word to describe what you are? You're not even there. Am I right about that, women? Okay. These live videos like Hotel California, once you're in, you can't get out. It's a bit like the UK. Similar to me. Yeah, I can't get out. Yeah, Alex is here. How is the MAGA night? Can we discuss how horrible women are when they stop loving you? That's why women are very scary. Claire loves me, or says she does. Leanne says she does. But you'll wake up one day and they go, they stop returning your phone calls. The show last night was really good. It was with Nico DeSantos, and he's great. He's really a lovely guy. And he's so funny, and he's got jokes and stuff. And he comes from Iran, and he's brave. He's a hero to me. He is brave. And I asked him to come on the show, but I think it's a bit too far away from him, and maybe he'll do it. You're right about some women, Lewis. They don't have the monopoly on being horrible, though. That's not true. Men are not horrible. We are SHITE, SHITS, but I don't think we're horrible. We do things that make women miserable because we expect them to act. They expect us to act like women, and we don't. Like we don't lie to women, Do we lie? We tell a woman, I'm going to love you forever, and then we change our minds. Somebody else comes along. You know, it's like being a carnivore. You know, how could I eat linguine if someone put a plate of linguine in front of me? I would have, Steve. I would eat it. A woman scorned and all that. Yes, that's true, Leanne. Women can get really angry. They can, women can get really angry. I mean, men do too, but not to this. I They'll stop you from seeing your kids. That's not the right thing. And they think they're doing the right thing because they're protecting their kids. A girlfriend once taught me, this is Kermit says, how to tint eyelashes so I could do them for her. I could maybe branch out. Yes. Yeah. Is that bad? Lewis, I put a comment on about Kinsey. She's fine, just busy with the kids in case you missed it. Okay. I mean, the fact that she puts her own kids ahead of me is that's not right. That's a joke. I'm a comedian satirist. But she's putting her kids in front. Yeah. Okay, yeah. I mean, this is a lot. I think this is this is a lot. But Kinsey, yeah, very good. Okay. My feelings are hurt. I'm contemplating a tinted as we speak. I'll get back to you. A tinted bum. Okay. That's nice to know. Thank you, Joodles. It's nice for thank you, Joe Warmelian. I miss Kinsey. We haven't lost that many. Have we lost that many in the thing? And I thought people would. I didn't think you'd stick around as long as you stuck around. So Kinsey will come back. And as I said, that's my favorite name. And other people come and they go. Lewis, forgiven. Thank you very much. I'm forgiven. Do the tinting, and I'll massage the bruises. Oh, okay. Oh, you're speaking to Hi-Ho. You're not speaking to Joodles. That could be funny too. Anyway, we got to thank Kinsey for setting up the Discord thing. So, did you guys notice the Discord thing? Did you notice that? I read something in the news about Nish Kumar. He said he's a comedian. The news, it said he's a comedian. The news, if all fake. The news, if all fake these days, Nish is never funny. I don't want to say that. I think he could be funny. Yeah, it could be you know, it is personal preference. Personal preference. So you can't. There are lots of reasons why you don't think someone is funny. Personal reasons, but there's also group reasons too. They're not on the same team as you. They think they're better than you. So there's lots of reasons why that happens. I mean, I've done gigs with him, and it's not my kind of comedy. My kind of comedy is I don't even know what mine is. We are like an evil possessed when we suffer a heartbreak. That's what Leanne says, and that's true. Very, I will never break up with a woman ever again. I will never break up with a woman. The last woman I broke up with, she Me Too'd me. And it was a mistake. It was a mistake because it was a mistake. And I'm going to tell you, I'll say, listen, I can't break up with her because she's going to say bad things about me. He never, ever has been, Phil, says Joodles. The man has robbed a living. You don't know that. It's really, I'm going to tell you something. Even bad comedy is harder to do than being great at something else. It's really hard to be, Nish Kumar. It's really hard. Nish and Romesh can do one. Far too lefty to be funny. That's Kermit. I agree. I agree with that, but that doesn't mean they're not funny. And the left need to make some jokes. Russell Howard is a lovely guy. Was on my radio show. He's a lovely guy. Yeah, Joodles agrees. You give your whole heart and then you get it taken away. I feel really bad because being a woman is serious, serious business. I mean, being a guy is like, oh, we're having sex with a girl. And being a woman is like, you've taken my life away from me, Joodles. And, And Leanne, that's exactly true. That's exactly true. I mean, I say women are horrible, but they're also they're also amazing. You don't know what love is until you've been loved by a woman. No guy will ever love you as much as a woman. A man won't. A man won't. And that's why women are like, they're so disappointed. That's why they wait. They wait before they tell you they love you. You tell it, I had my heart broken a few times. The old BBC and C4 comedians are really defunct. We crave new comedians like Dixon, Lewis, and Kurtz. I don't know if I'm a new comedian. I've been around for a long time. But Dixon is great, and so is Leo Kurtz. We need to be told, because we are different than the left. That's what we are. I assume we're all in the, I don't even know if we're right-wing. Are we right-wing people? I'm not sure. I cannot deal with comedians who are co-opted by left-wing ideology. Romish was the face of BBC during the lockdown, and he did a mate campaign for Khan. I remember that. We made fun of that on Headliners. Do you remember that, mate? And I remember asking a woman who was my girlfriend at the time and been my girlfriend for many years. I never saw any guy say anything to a woman on the train. I never did. And she explained something to me. She said that it's basically for the women who might be feeling a bit sensitive to make a complaint. I think this is what she said. Kermit. Did she say that? Okay, wait a second. We're coming up there. I mean, Russ is trying to get into an argument. So what really happened at GB News, Lewis? You've been on recently. No, I went on today. I was supposed to be on today, but they canceled me because Donald Trump was, it's the Donald Trump channel. They give him a lot of time. A lot of time. And it was really great to see Starmer uncomfortable there, reading a speech, and, Trump basically bored. Is ultra-Zionist left or right-wing? Well, it's right-wing because it's in favor of the nation state for Jews. So it's right-wing. That's what I'm in favor. I'm in favor of a nation state for Britain, a nation state for Ireland, a nation state for America. I'm in favor of nation states. People should be able to fight for their home people and not be invaded. So is ultra-Zionist left? It can't be left. Remember, Israel used to be a very left-wing country, really left-wing, and I'm sure it's not now. Is that the right answer? Does that sound the right answer, audience, beautiful audience members? Why all this all women, all men bull? We are individuals. Not all women are horrible. Not all men are constantly watching porn. Can someone explain to me why I say all women? Because women are different than men. And maybe, like Jordan Peterson says, there's a continuum, and on one side there's one thing, on the other side it's another thing. But there's an overlap between one arch that's women and one arch that's men. But women are different than men. The problem with women and men is the similarity is just so strong, are very strong. So it looks like you could basically give a couple of hormones, or your hormones can be down, and you act like a woman, you think like a woman, or think like a man. But that doesn't mean there aren't differences between men and women. Big differences. So that's what I say to you, Steve. Okay. Lewis, most of us have been brokenhearted at some point, says Joe, or disappointed, but we just have to get on with life. Yeah, that doesn't mean you can't feel brokenhearted. I've been dumped. I've been dumped. People don't come back on the stream and I start crying. I identify as an ultra-Zionist. Islamofascism is also a thing, so right-wing too. Yes, 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 it is right wing in many ways. Yes, Maltese Phil, that they're in favor of an Islamic state. So that's Team Islam. Yes, it is could be considered right wing. Does anybody disagree with me, Maltese Phil? Um, Women are different than men, and if you think that they're not, they're not. They are. They are. You can dress up and pretend to be a woman, but you're not a woman. And that's what I believe. I don't know. Do you believe that? Is that being mean? Remember, I'm a comedy satirist. It's a very odd way for an adult to look at things, in my opinion. Joodles, Steve Cuff says. Trump's on there now. What he says, he's on GB News now. Lewis, the gray part in the Venn diagram. Yeah, there's a lot of overlap, but I mean, women are more team players than men are. Men are go it alone people, but there are men who are team players too. Or for whatever reason they are, they believe on the team. Okay. John Van Dam, not been in for a few days, been watching bored. Oh, hey-o, I'm back, hey-o. Is that a joke? I think that could be a joke. Anyway, I mean, yeah, you were here yesterday for a little bit. You came in a bit late, if I remember correctly. The answer is possibly. Possibly, I might. Ruben asked, would I move to Israel? And I've, nah, you know what? I don't know. It's not great to live in a country with no way out. There's no border. There's no way you can get out. There you go. Thank you for sending messages, people. Leanne, you need to get out more, Steve Cuff. What did Leanne say? This is mine, and Claire's, I'm not going to say that it is corn. Leanne, you need to get out more. Okay. Venus and Mars. Yes, that's true. They're both planets. You know what I mean? They're both there. They're similar in size, and they're Venus and Mars, but they are very different. Joe says, maybe a cliche, but men staring at the campfire and girls comparing notes. Only generalizing, so no judgment. You can, yeah, you know what it is? It's like with women. There are things you like, things you don't like, but things, a world without women for me would be a horrible place. A horrible place. And I've been married once. I had one long-term girlfriend. That's two. I had another kind of girlfriend in the middle. Basically, I've had very few short-term relationships. But they're, and you can get mad at them, and they get so mad at you, and you don't even know what you've done. And they're like angry. Like, I'm not going to mention who. I'm looking at the person's name. But they get just so mad watching Leanne watching. Don't watch porn. I mean, men, but now women like porn. They like porn. Corn. I don't even know if I should say porn. I can't say it. Why are robots popular in the trans community? Because they have transistors. That's a good joke. I mean, women are amazing, but are they more amazing than men? No. You need men too. Otherwise, we'd have no TV or electricity or water systems. You need men. But let's say you only had men. It would be, what's the movie with the island? Lord of the Flies. That's what the world would be like. It would be horrible. And Joe says now women like corn. That's true. If you look up corn for women, it's better than the stuff it's a different kind of thing. It's more cuddles and hugging and that kind of thing. I think that's what it is. I mean, I don't even know because I've never ever watched any. Can you believe that? I've never watched any corn ever in my entire life. You said, I said you were mine, and Claire's, oh, corn, watching you in public. Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, so thank you very much, Leanne. Thank you very, 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 very much. Lud says, women are the best. Best at what? What are you the best at? They can be the best at some things, but could we live in a world with no men? I don't think we could. Women can do many things men can't. This is what Russ says, like pee dancing, for example. Yeah, I mean, I personally prefer to look at. It was a book. It was a book, Lord of the Flies. Yeah, it was a book, but they made it into a movie. I didn't read the book. Lewis, the reason you don't watch them is because you are in most of. That could be true. I mean, I'd like to. I mean, this has been the 100th show. I was thinking maybe I'd come on the show and be naked. You would just see the top of me. Because men are not appreciated for our nakedness. If we only had men, well then, we'd be all effed. Yes, we would be. If we just had men, we'd be effed. If we just had women, it would be. It's like those islands where they make the TV show and they've just got the women there. Alex comes in and says, watching corn is not as bad as people say it is. Why is it good? It is good. I have watched. It does never makes a man happy. A man doesn't go, it doesn't. The thing about when you're with a girl, and this is why I promote this, is if you're with a girl and you have SEGGS, okay? And you do it okay, you can just see how happy the woman is. You can see it. Even me. You've made somebody happy. Women need to be TOUCHED. They need to be, am I right about this? And it makes them happy. And women need to be, that's what I believe. You need to be made happy. They don't need to have SEGGS all the time. But you need to have it. Women need to have it. But let's say you go home and instead of having SEGGS with a woman, okay, a beautiful woman like Leanne or Claire or Judels or Joe or Lorna, let's say you have it that way. You don't have it. You go home and you pleasure yourself. Happiness is not created. And as soon as you're done, you feel like, yuck, am I right? Should I be discussing this? Please use capital letters sparingly, says Alan Williams. I agree with you. It's part of the pronunciation thing. Let's make it a point. No. This is the countdown. Anyone know what segs is? Thank you, Judels. That's a joke. Put a joke thing. Totally, Alex. It is just at certain stages in my life, the types of corn that causes problems with people, I think. I don't know if it causes problems, but it doesn't make men happy, and it doesn't make women happy. Let's say and women like to look at it, but that doesn't. I have finally found how to make a woman happy sexually. I leave them alone. Not to make a woman happy. Finally found how to make women happy. I leave them alone. Yeah, it's one of my jokes. That's one of my jokes. So it's a joke, but I think we need, if you people, and this is where it gets creepy, and we're in the last 5 minutes, is if you found a way to hook up with each other and had boyfriends and girlfriends with each other, that would make me happier than you finding you finding me funny or finding this show funny. It would make me happier because it might last longer. Was there a point to whatever this rambling was now, Lewis? It doesn't feel like it got there. I'm saying that right now. I'm saying it's there right now. Is that women need to feel loved, and so does men. And that's why corn does not make people happy. Because especially for men, it doesn't make men happy. Afterwards, they look at themselves and they just feel not, I wouldn't know this from personal experience, but you just feel, not you, not me, you, not even you, somewhere out there. It makes people feel really unhappy. Really unhappy. And I'll tell you something, let's say there's no porn at all. There's no movies made, there's no magazines, there's no websites. Men would find something that they would find attractive. And I remember when I was a kid, I knew of somebody who used to look at Cosmopolitan magazine. Do you know Cosmopolitan magazine? Cosmopolitan magazine. And they used to show, in the back of Cosmopolitan magazine, there was an ad for breast enlargement. And there was a girl with an amazingly shaped whatever. And that's before there was porn magazine. I'm not going to say in whose life it was. He's on holiday at the moment, Alex, sunning himself ready for the hot tub. Who are you talking about? The last girlfriend said I could tie her up, says Maltese Phil, and do what I wanted. So I tied her up and I went to Scarborough for the weekend. That's a good joke too. So that's what I'm saying. Steve Cuff says, I prefer numbers too. 8 of 10 cats is brilliant. Maltese Phil says, I could never choose between the ladies on here. Okay, well then ask the ladies to be more generous with you. Back in the day, it was the underwear section of the Little Woods catalog, probably very similar to the, Cosmopolitan. So this program is, I'm a libertarian. People should be allowed to look at porn, but I don't think the government should come in there. But maybe we're headed to a country which will make porn illegal. How about that? Seriously, I love this. Zara Sultana got kicked out of the Labor Party and then joined Jeremy Corbyn's new party, is complaining, saying that his party is sexist and she feels excluded. Okay. What does that have to do with what I'm saying? Okay, so we're going to leave the show in a minute. Let's all say goodbye to everybody. Let's just say this show has been one of the best shows ever. I'm going to say this. You've been brilliant, everyone. Alan has been brilliant. Alex, brilliant. Maltese Phil, Warmellian. Kermit, good to see you. Let's talk to each other if you think we need to do something. Russ, brilliant. Ludd, big supporter of Lewis Schaffer, love the guy. Alan Williams, Leanne, Joe, Claire, Judels, brilliant. Steve Cuff, brilliant. Just brilliant. Maltese Phil, brilliant. John Van Dam, thanks for coming in. Ruben, of course. It's all good. Has this been a good show? Write something in the bottom. Please, before you go, make sure you're following Lewis Schaffer on Twitter. Please. Make sure you've subscribed to this. Please. Make sure you like this thing. Please. Make sure you subscribe. Please. Make sure you go to Patreon, or you go look under the YouTube thing. You go under Patreon, please, or PayPal.me/Lewis Schaffer if you want to make a one-off contribution. Daryl says, great show. I think it's been a great show. Steve Cuff, happy 100th. Can I say happy 100th to you people? For coming in and staying with me. There were some dark times during this 100 shows where I thought, I don't know whether anybody's liking this thing or whether we should continue. I'm not sure now if you're liking it. but I do appreciate it. Okay? I do appreciate it. I appreciate all the individual help you've given me. Thank you, Warmelian. Adam Hudson, thank you very much. Thank you, Adam. You've been here through not all of it, but a lot of it. Magazine corn is so weird. You know, I mean, yeah. Judel says good night, chums. Warmelian says 100, 100, 100. It's 100th show. I mean, I wish I could tell you how many shows you've seen and we could have like a little competition or something. You know, I do miss you. As you know, I miss you when you're not here. Lucy, I miss Lucy. She missed 2 nights. And then she said she was sorry for missing the shows. I thought she was mad at me. And she could very well have been mad at me. You know, I take it really personally. Let's try not to make the show too masculinized. I know. It's weird me being kind of like saying women are horrible when you know that I'm gay. But let's try to be more loving, or I'm going to try to be more loving in the future. Do you agree with that? That's what I'm going to try to be, is more loving. Okay? And we've been very good. Thank you, Joe, for coming in. Let's put our fingers together and hope that Kinsey comes back. If she doesn't come back, she was a great big help for this show. This Discord has been amazing. So I believe in that. I believe it's been amazing. Okay? So that's just great. That's all great. And I want you girls to stop fighting over me. I do appreciate it, but, you know, maybe, I don't know. That's it. Let's see what this is here. 100, not out. Not out. Oh, you know who's coming in tomorrow? Tomorrow, beautiful Liz is coming in tomorrow. Well, I'll sit next to her. I know you're probably thinking, well, I'm not going to be able to pay that much attention to you. And that's true. But I'll be able to pay attention to her. She's got a husband, but I can still pay attention to her. And she reminds me of a girl that I know on this tweet. You know, pretty girl, you know, an English girl. Okay. So this has been our show. I love you. I love you. I love you. I'm going to say goodbye and I'm going to hang up. I'm going to end the stream. Everybody go over to Discord. A female guest. Yeah. Alone in this place. Maybe my son will be here to keep an eye, make sure no hanky-panky goes on. Or she's here to make sure no hanky-panky goes on. No, and Ruben likes Chinese Elvis. Same with me. I don't think he was bad either. He's great. Well, he'll be on. You know, he'll be on again. Of course he will be. We don't fight. We're a team. You're groupies. Are you groupies? Are you a cult team? We're a health team. We're a health team. We're a health team. We like fighting over you. Okay, well, there you go. And I like that you do. And I'm fighting over you in my own way. I'm fighting over you. I'm going to say goodbye, everybody. What do I have to do? I don't want to go, but I'm going to have to go. I'm saying goodbye. Like the stream.